Have you recently purchased an LG V30? You may be frustrated to learn LG has released an updated model called the LG V30S ThinQ. Have you wasted your money, and now own an outdated device? The good news is that you haven't. The V30S ThinQ looks identical to the V30, and only has a handful of technical alterations, plus some software changes that you may, or may not, be that worried about. The V30S ThinQ is an enigma. It's not the new G-series smartphone many may have expected to arrive at Mobile World Congress, and it's not an existing device revision on the same scale as the OnePlus 5T over the OnePlus 5. The V30S ThinQ has 6 GB of RAM, and you can choose between 128 GB or 256 GB of storage space. The older LG V30 has 4 GB of RAM and either 64 GB or 128 GB storage. Aside from this, everything else specification-wise is identical. Artificial intelligence. What's the reason for updating the V30? Because the artificial intelligence bandwagon is about to depart, and LG wants to be on board. This has translated into two primary new features in the camera software: the integration of LG's ThinQ smart home control system, a visual search engine called Q-Lens, and a Korea-only voice control system called Q-Voice. Aside from Q-Voice, there's a strong chance these new AI features will come to the old V30 too, so you may not miss out at all, although the decision on when and if they're coming hasn't been finalized yet. The first AI feature is Bright Mode, which enhances low-light photography by increasing the brightness of photos taken in dark environments by 2 times. It does this by enlarging the pixels, but lowering the megapixel count. It's decreased from 16 megapixels to 4 megapixels for bright mode pictures. Think that sounds like a bad deal? Surprisingly, it's not. We took photos in a dimly lit bar, and the bright mode image was considerably more detailed than the standard picture, just not as pixel dense. If it was a picture we were taking to share on social media, we'd pick the photo using bright mode, which makes it worthwhile. We also like that this is an optional feature. It activates automatically, but can be quickly switched off if you don't want it. But while effective sometimes, it didn't do much sometimes, and differences between the bright mode picture and a normal picture were impossible to spot. This downward slide in AI feature quality continues with AI Cam, LG's other AI feature. This operates somewhat like Huawei's AI-driven scene and object recognition system on the Mate 10 Pro, which adjusts camera settings based on what the camera sees. But while effective sometimes, it didn't do much sometimes, and differences between the bright mode picture and a normal picture were impossible to